Hello and welcome to the Lost Art Podcast. I'm Garen. I'm here with Paul.
How's it going?
And this week we're going to be coming back to a podcast that we've done in the past, a little revisiting session, if you will. And we're going to do I Just Don't Get It 2. So there's an awful lot of acts. Yeah, there's an awful lot of acts that me and you, we don't love them. We don't hate them. We don't really have super strong feelings either way about them. And we really and truly, we just don't get it.
I don't get it, yeah. Don't get
really
this band or this artist.
Yeah.
And I think the last time I did it, I went at an angle of I desperately listened to a lot of their stuff to try and change my mind. And because it only really happened with one or two acts, I didn't bother doing it this time. And as well as that, a lot of the acts I've picked, I've listened to at least 10 songs.
Same.
And there's no point in me trying really hard. Now, if people want to suggest stuff to us after this with the comments, absolutely fire away, and that'll make it easier for us to go out, and then and we'll talk about it afterwards. But honestly, apart from one of these artists, which I did delve into more, I've heard through DJing and stuff like that, loads of their stuff. I think I can make an estimated guess as to whether I get it or not. So,
well, we didn't reach too far either, did we? I mean, I'm looking at the list here. It's not like we pulled mad stuff out of, like, mad left the field. Like, everything here is like should be in our purview. Like, we should own all these albums probably, realistically, and be able to give
do I own an album from any of these people? I wouldn't, though. No, I don't. I wouldn't.
I do not own. I'm looking at this right now. Like, on CD, yes.
You 100% own one of these acts, and you picked, and you own 1, 2, 3,
maybe
three of my 5. I'd say.
Okay. I definitely do on CD and, like, maybe cassette. On LP, oh man.
Yeah, I'd say you own. I'd say we'll find out anyway.
Well, jeez. What I can do, actually, I can open up Discogs and look, just to see if I've sickened myself.
No, but you'll talk about my ones. Not
either way, like,
it's different. You're a collector, and I've got albums from bands that either I went off or put me off them. Yeah, I don't know.
I have bought stuff literally because I in my heart I've said, like, you should get that. Like, there's no reason for it, but my brain goes, like, you like loads of bands like that, don't you? You like that other band that's like him. And I will buy it. I will absolutely buy it. Like
there's loads of stuff like that is where I'm going, why haven't I gotten into that band yet? And that's 100%. Really what the first version of this was. This is just, second one is us putting less effort into trying to like the stuff we already know we don't get.
Yeah, like, listen, I wish I was.
Why we don't. Yeah, like,
I wish I was. Like, but
I tried to reason with why I didn't get it in this, and some of them I just don't know.
I think I'm kind of at the point now where I'm hitting, if I'm mad lucky, the halfway point of my life. And I just can't be arsed. Because, like, realistically, think about the first 10 years of your life is pretty much garbage, right? Like, you know, the first 3 or 4 is just you shiting on yourself and whatever. And then the rest of it is, like, whatever you're doing, like, just being a sap, being led around by the hand. You know what I mean? So you forget about that.
You know, but at the time you're starting getting into music, your music taste is garbage, mate. Garbage.
Yeah.
Like, especially me and you, we were listening to, like, Jive Bunny and the Rednecks.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff as we were kids. Like,
100%. 100%. So it's only when you hit, like, whatever, let's say 16, right? I'm going to call it. We probably listened to good stuff before that, but I didn't actually start creating my own music taste until I was around 16.
Well, like, there's difference between 13 and 15. You're like, I like that cool stuff. You're like, yeah, but why do you like it?
Exactly. And then
is it because your mates are, or because someone told you it's cool? Because, of course, at that stage, you're trying to be the cool one.
100%. Like, so you've got, like, say, 15 years of, like, just being a sap. And then that cuts a good chunk out of, like, the half that I'm already at. So, like, I just don't know if I want to donate another X amount of years to, like, trying to find new stuff. If someone hands me a band that goes, this is way up your alley, then I'll go, fuck, all right, yeah.
Like, me 16 to 25, I was a sponge.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. I was getting, like, singles off their websites and the internet just to have the Japanese B-sides.
Oh, you get them imports.
Crazy.
Them Tower Records imports that were like 20 quid for a CD and shit.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, the actual physical aspect of music dying off, I don't know whether it was me getting older or it died off with me, and then back into it massively as soon as physical stuff starts becoming more prominent. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think I've always just been drawn to someone making a whole piece of art that you can hold. As stupid as that sounds, it's just the truth.
It's true. But now, and looking at this list of acts that we've picked, because we're not really going with songs, we're going with acts here. We just gave you a couple of example songs. But like, these are all bands that me and you, as we said, should know and love. Like, these are all in our wheelhouse, right?
Yeah, that's why I picked these ones anyway. I wasn't going to pick something that, like, I wasn't going to pick Michael Bublé, or I wasn't going to pick Sam Smith or something. Yeah, well, he wouldn't be in your target demographic. Yeah. Although I'm getting older, he kind of might be.
But he's coming out of his cave next week.
Yeah, these are all stuff that, like, all my mates love.
Yes.
Fans.
Yeah, so, I'm going to let some people down here. I am definitely going to let some people down. Anyway, let's get straight into it then. But let's figure out where and how it all kind of went wrong for us here and why we don't get it. So who was your first one?
Yeah, I don't get Weezer at all. I mean, I sort of get it, but I don't think they're remotely good enough to be where they are or where they were, whatever like that. So there's aspects of me to sort of getting Weezer, and there's aspects where I just, like, I'm trying to hear what all my mates are hearing desperately with Weezer. Now, I do find some of the music in the early stuff is good, but I don't like those nerdy lyrics.
The lyrics are what lets me down every time with Weezer. Really and truly.
The geek rock thing is really weird, right? Like, bands can be geeky without trying to sing pop punk style, really low standard lyrics. And I know that, like, people will say, oh, the Weezer stuff's really clever tongue-in-cheek stuff. I don't think it's very good. I love tongue-in-cheeky stuff. Like the amount of stuff that the Smiths do tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, yeah. That's high-level tongue-in-cheek. The Weezer is bottom of the barrel for your absolute backwards cap mutant.
And the gas thing is about actual pop-punk lyrics, they're not trying to be tongue-in-cheek. They're trying to just be plain stupid. This is sort of wrapped up in a false sense of geekiness that I don't think it plays off very well at all. I don't like it.
Yeah, their version of alt rock, like you said, musically, like this song that you picked Undone, the sweater song. Like, it's literally about a jumper, right? And lyrically,
I'm sure there's more to it than that. But
who cares though? Like, it's called the sweater song. Let's just call it at its face value. Like, I'm sure there's something going on. It's probably about some girl who dumped him and kept his hoodie or something, whatever. But musically, it's kind of interesting. Now, it has the same, pretty much the same intro.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
As I think it's El Scorcho. It's very similar to that intro. But like,
look. This is the thing, right? This is, I have to word this carefully, or I'll be just slaying not only Weezer, their fans, and a load of people. But I don't want it. Making geekiness cool isn't a thing.
Yeah.
Because by its very nature, geekiness is not trying to be cool. It's just gone, literally, do not have the energy to put into being cool, or the cool, whatever people think cool is. I have the energy to do every single thing I want to do. It's to play Warhammer, to read these mad magazines, to be into Japanese stuff. But I don't think that there's but by its very nature, it should naturally become cool to the people who like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But Weezer is a forced, geeky, cool thing. I don't get it, and I don't think that works at all. Like, I think it's the musical equivalent of Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, pretty much is. Even like, there's kind of nerdy, geeky music that embraces its nerdy geekiness. Like MC Chris, and even MC Lars, and there's a lot of that kind of geeky hip hop stuff. And like, every song's about Boba Fett, and that's what it's for. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you go to one of those gigs, and it's just a lot of absolute outcast mutants, and they're like, these are my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are my people. They show up with them big anime body pillows that they ride and all this kind of shit.
Like, I don't want people to think that I'm expecting geeks to know their place or something like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I don't think that Weezer have ever really been geeks, is what I'm actually trying to say.
Oh, no, definitely not.
The famous thing about geeks is, like I said, that they're happy enough being themselves and not trying to be the cool dudes. When you get Weezer coming along going, no, you can be cool and geeky. I'm like, that doesn't really work. Like, you're like, they're talking about, like, they're sort of taking the piss out of the jock culture.
Yes.
But they're also not steering massively enough away from it.
Yeah, it's definitely their own version of jock culture. Like,
I don't like their stupid faces, and I don't like their stupid lyrics. Like their lyrics to this: if you want to destroy my sweater, hold this thread as I walk away.
Yeah.
Watch me unravel. I'll soon be naked, lying on the floor. Naked. I'll come undone.
Stop.
Yeah. No. Stop. I guess I get their popularity to a sense. but I can't get with them, despite numerous house parties I've been to where they're played on the stereo, where people play all their songs.
Yeah.
Their fans are mad sound. Like all my mates that listen to them. I obviously only have sound mates. A couple of not sound mates.
I've been loud of sound mates.
But do you know what I mean? They're all right. Like they don't listen to Weezer at all. But what I'm saying is, all my Weezer loving mates are some of the soundest people in the world. Their music does attract sound people. It does attract people who are inherently good, maybe a touch nerdy, but also don't want the heavy jacket of just being an out and out nerd. But you can be somewhere in between. But Weezer are not selling to me. It reminds me of The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Do you know what, as well? Unsurprisingly, to me anyway, they descended into a desperate, please like us band very, very harshly. Like really covering Toto.
That Toto once that Toto covering thing, and then the covers album where it was just garbage. Like that reeked of desperation, and then that kind of mega tour with who was it? Was it Green Day or something like that? Was it even Green Day?
Oh yeah, did that go ahead? Obviously not.
No, it was cancelled.
No, obviously that was.
Yeah, but the thing about Weezer to me, and this might be just because I'm not a massive fan. Again, I don't hate them. I don't like them. They're fine. They're whatever. I just
same. I don't like or hate them. I just I know. I feel like I know what they're up to, and I don't like that.
I just find their music to be like not bottomless, if that makes sense. Like you can definitely reach the back end of Weezer rather quickly. Like you put an album on, you go, okay, I get what this is about, and then you put another one on, and you go like, all right, grand. But I'm never discovering new layers and new topics within it. And I've listened. I'd listened to loads of Weezer.
If you keep at Weezer, I reckon it'll get worse for you.
You probably just expend it. You know, that's
because
what I'm
all Weezer fans ever tell me is how garbage their later catalogue is, like horrific garbage.
Yeah, it gets real bad real quick.
Dirt.
Well, you got Blue Album and Green Album or Pinkerton or whatever. Like I actually own all them. Like they're behind me as I sit. Like they're like sitting behind me on a shelf as I speak, and I have been known to bang a bit of Weezer on every now and again.
Do you love that bit where he goes, "Wrestled with Jimmy"?
Yeah, do you know what?
Look, Fall Out Boy did Weezer better. That's my bottom line on it.
Kind of. I could probably survive with like the best of Weezer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to buying the albums, if that best of was put together well and actually had the good stuff as opposed to just the singles or whatever, maybe I could survive with it.
Like my whole thing with Weezer is everyone going, Weezer, or even Weezer's early stuff. Me going, really? Yeah. So to me, that's the essence. That's the essence of I just don't get it, and that's my first one. Who's your first one?
My first one is Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, I love Queens of the Stone Age, but I don't think they're as good as people let on.
Yeah,
But I think they're a lot better than you think they are. So there's somewhere in between.
Yeah, I actually believe, I do honestly believe that they are probably better than I think they are. And I own loads of the albums. I've listened to loads of the albums. I just have it's never clicked with me. Now, I could be tainted because I just don't like your man, Josh Homme. Right?
He's kind of okay to not like.
There's just so every time I saw an interview with him, he's one of these pricks that like would light a cigarette in a plane. You know what I mean? He's just every interview is just too cool and like.
Do you know who he reminds me of? A mix between Lou Reed and Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
And I don't like either of those people in interviews or in general.
He's just one of these motorbike with no helmet pricks.
Yeah,
like you know, I can't. I find it very hard to come up with anything good to say about him as a person. And when I think of Queens of the Stone Age, I don't even think of it as being a band. I just think about him because I don't even know who the fuck's in that band anymore. Because I know there's been a lot of chopping and changing. I know they had Nick Oliveri for a while.
They've had people from like Nine Inch Nails, I think.
Yeah, it's like it's him and whoever else he can get a hold of, I think. But like. This song, I picked Make It With You. I fucking hate that song. I can
understand why people hate that song. I actually like it, but it wouldn't make my top 50 Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah,
I don't think I could make it that far, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. They always felt like a Advanced Dungeons and Dragons version of the Foo Fighters to me, where they were definitely like still middle of the road, but they just had a little blippy bloppy kind of weird stuff going on that made people who discovered them thought that they had literally discovered the Beatles. Like, and
their fans can be quite annoying in terms of like they're not. Oh shit! This is gonna sound really fucking pretentious, but they're not seeing Queens of the Stone Age exactly how Queens of the Stone Age are. Queens of the Stone Age for me are a great band, but they're not. That is mad fucking like you said, Pink Floyd fucking level of appreciation, because they haven't been, they've been quite consistent early on in their career. Like, I think the first 3 albums are very good.
Yeah.
Like I think there's actually very little shit on them. So that's why at that point I was like, man, the Queens of Stone Age are amazing. But if you would ask me, even then, at the height of Rated R or Songs for the Deaf, who's your favorite bands, they wouldn't have made a top 50.
Like, I ran out the day Songs for the Deaf was released, ran out and bought it, because I'd heard whatever the single off. I was like, that's really, really good. And I got it home, banged it on. I was like waiting for the rest of the album to be as good as that single. And I was like, I was a bit let down. And I don't know. Again, I've tried. I don't think it's ever going to take to me.
No, especially if you feel that way with the music and you also don't like the singer, you're better off just go and enjoy yourself with music you like.
I always imagine, right? I have this thing where I imagine Josh Homme being invited onto like the Muppet Show. Right? Do you remember the Muppet Show used to have like musical guests? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have like Bruce Springsteen or Tina Turner or whatever. And she'd be sitting at the fake little table, and Kermit the Frog would be interviewing her, whoever it was. And then all of a sudden something would happen, and like Animal would kick over the drum kit, or one of the other Muppets would run in on fire or whatever. And there'd always be like, you know, Bruce Springsteen would be like trying to help or laughing, or, you know, getting involved in the play acting the maggot. He'd like, I'm on the Muppet Show, let's have a bit of fun, whatever. I always just imagine Josh Homme just pulling out a Marlboro Red and lighting it, and just sitting there smoking a cigarette while all these Muppets are like trying to entertain the people watching at home to get a rise out of Josh Homme, but he's desperately trying to be so cool that that Muppet on fire won't affect him. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, you know, he does try too hard to be cool.
Oh, I think he really desperate cunt for that.
And it actually came to a head when he came out on stage, locked, and swung his foot at a photographer to get that Johnny Cash shot, but he kicked her in the fucking mallet. Like,
and didn't he lie and say he was trying to smash lights or something?
Yeah, he kicked, like, he was trying to do that. I don't know what he's trying to do that thing. He was like, okay, hang on. In the midst of a performance, sometimes, especially if you're a rock star, you're probably coked off your nut as well. Although that doesn't really add to an excuse. But let's just say he wasn't, and he was just absolutely high on adrenaline and a lack of sleep, and he wants to do a kind of kick to the camera. Yeah, but he kicked the camera, and the camera smashed off her head. Like, and that to me was, and do you know what? That didn't really, I say it bother me. It's Horton needs to be bothered about that. His apology was worse for me. It was really insincere. One of those, I think I have to take a step back and
I hate it.
Really look at myself and take note of who I, because that wasn't me. I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't you, but that apology was fucking brutal.
That's the fucking Daily Mirror apology. Is what that is.
I have to look at myself.
Or the Facebook apology. We know 100 people who went on the tear for like 4 or 5 days. Like, didn't tell their ma. Didn't tell their ma nothing, and people were making fucking wanted posters like, hasn't been seen in 4 days, and it was just, they were in the bag in someone's flat somewhere, and then they reappear a week later, and then they're like posting up, like, I just want to apologise, they're going to take a step back from social media and really look at,
take a step back from social media. Yeah, people,
the reasons for
people
why I've done this, and reevaluate my relationship with alcohol, and everyone's like, you were just in the bag having the best crack of your life for a week, and all your loved ones, like, you wouldn't even shoot them a message saying like, I'm all right, I'll be back tomorrow. So you came back.
See, that's what
a meltdown.
That's what the main problem is. It wasn't even what you did; it's what you didn't do, which would have been so simple.
Yeah,
go if you sent your message from going, I've had a shite week, I'm going on a mad one, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll be back when I'm back. You can
that's better.
That's out to me then.
That's better than nothing.
That's better than nothing, because they're going to think someone pushed into the liffey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we know loads. We know literally loads
of people that's happened to. There was a time about 6 years ago where there was one of them a week in one circle or another, where some lad, it was never a girl. It was never a girl.
No,
on my end.
To be fair, more the idea of not letting your family know where you are. It's more of a male thing. It's more of a male thing, because they think that nothing happens to men.
I don't need that, and I don't myself. What you mean? What you mean? Etc. Yeah. No, I can't. Anyway, that's the way I think of. Josh Homme would go on the bag and into the fucking bottle of Jack Daniels for a couple of weeks and not tell anyone, and then come back, apologise for it, say he's going to, look at himself in the cold, hard light of day, and then eventually write a song about it, and Mojo magazine or something would be like 10 out of 10.
Do you know who wouldn't go on the bag?
Who?
Great Crazy Legs Cuomo.
Crazy Legs. Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway,
that is Queens of the Stone Age. Who was your next one?
My next one is one of your favorites.
Yeah, no, I can see it here.
Run DMC, and I'm here to say, all these songs go this way. 5 minutes later, I'm like, this is torture. This is torture. Yeah. Look, all their songs sound the same.
Yep.
And if the song is more than 2 minutes long, to me it feels like anything after 2 feels like 5. Anything after 5 feels like 10. It just gets exponentially bigger the longer I listen, and I feel actually irritated by it. But they have albums of these songs, right? Now they're obviously, I have to give them massive respect for being massively influential. I'm not saying that to cover myself because I'm about to rip more. Don't worry about that. The massive pioneers of the inspiration they gave to gangster rap, because NWA, that, and like even just wherever, even if NWA went straight from them, which they didn't, they went through fucking Ice-T and all that first. But that all comes back to this kind of style, I think, and other people, not just them. Like,
well, these are definitely the biggest.
Yeah, and they were genuinely cool. They were like they had a style, and the style was really fucking iconic, and it is really cool to look at. It's really great aesthetic. But the 808 has never been so hurtful to me.
It's very basic.
It's so dry and raw with just a touch of reverb on that, lads, and it'd be fucking hell.
Yeah, like Run DMC is definitely a movement away from the idea of the kind of origins of hip hop, where the DJ was more important than the MC, where the MC would just go up and, like, clap your hands, say yeah, whatever, while the DJ is doing mad stuff. Run DMC was, because there was 3 of them, and they were like, okay, well, we're gonna just rhyme. That's going to be our bag. There's not really going to be, there'll be choruses, but they're not going to be a million miles away from the verses. They're just going to be a sentence that we loop 4 times and it's over, done. There's very much an exercise in kind of lyricism, and it's of its time. It's of its time. Like
the lyrics to me, like, didn't, and the music, actually, if I'm being honest, I don't think Run DMC's music for me stands the test of time. That sounds incredibly fucking.
Doesn't.
That sounds mean.
It doesn't.
But it, because it was so, it didn't really go anywhere. Now, I like the incorporated rock. I presume that's sort of maybe their and Rick Rubin's sort of influence into it.
Apparently they didn't want to do that at all.
Like, well, that's honestly, and I'm not saying this as someone who likes rock, the best bit about it, because if they didn't have that, look, this is the way to me a Run DMC song goes, right? Walking down the street the other day, a man walks up to me. What did he say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
That young man, where'd you get that chain? I said, if you don't have a chain, you're really lame. Then it has it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a bass that goes.
Yeah.
And like the bass is, I swear to God, if anyone thinks they couldn't take up bass, listen to Run DMC. You'll never be. I don't think hip hop acts higher bass as much anymore, but you can just play one note for it. So boom.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah. It's very sparse.
Fuck, man. Like, I know that I'm not a massive fan of 80s hip hop, but there's something about the length. And this song is not even that long. No. Listen to this song. I think it's I Love My Adidas. Is that what it's called?
It's called My Adidas, yeah.
My Adidas.
Yeah. It's I think it's only 2.5 minutes long or something like that.
And that feels like 5.
Yeah, 2:47 is what it is. It does. It feels. It drags. It definitely drags. Yeah, it definitely drags.
Hey, I hate calling out Run DMC, but it's only after you played them on the radio show here. I was like, I have to be honest with you. I don't like them. Yeah. I don't like Run DMC. And here's the thing. I like everything about Run DMC, what they did. Yeah. I swear to God, the coolest looking fucking band. And apart from a few dickheadery moves later on in their career, seem like fucking good dudes as well. Especially
an interesting group. Yeah.
I have mad respect for them, but no, I can't.
Not for you.
Do Run DMC. Don't hate them. Don't like them. Don't really get how someone can do a full Run DMC album. Listen to it. Or 2.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to a full Run DMC album.
Like, I couldn't.
Yeah, I think I've definitely listened to loads of Run DMC, but I don't think I've ever sat down and said, I just kind of listen to this. No, I've never done that. Nope.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my one there. What's your next one?
My next one is Pearl Jam.
Oh, treading. We're losing patrons as we speak.
Yeah. Just don't get Didn't as a child.
I think I might be with you on some of this.
See, here's the thing, right? When I was a kid in like the early 90s and grunge was a big thing, like we never called it grunge, right? Because we were listening.
You're right, we didn't.
It's not that came later. It was just, it felt really uncool to call it grunge. I don't know what we called it, but we listened to like, we were listening to like Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer, and then we were listening to Nirvana and Soundgarden and whatever, you name it, whatever. We listened to Pearl Jam as well, but like for some reason, Pearl Jam always came across as just too soft and too da-ish at the time, right? Even like Jeremy and all, it was too heartfelt. Like we were used to listening to, like me and my gang, because there's no one really in my gang back then that were into Pearl Jam. Like we owned all the albums because you felt like you had to, but no one ever listened to it. Not really. You'd listen to like, what's that song, Everlong or Everclear or whatever the fuck it's called.
With Foo Fighters?
No, they have an Ever song, don't they? Pearl Jam.
Sorry. Even Flow or
Flow. Yeah,
Once.
that one. Yeah.
For a minute there, I thought you were actually after moving on to Foo Fighters, and I hadn't copped. I was like, hey, what?
No. Yeah, Even Flow. Like, that would be played in, like, you know, kiddie discos, and then when you got to, like, 17, 18, you start going to pubs. That was played in, like, Fibbers and Bruxelles, whatever. It was played in bars and went to, and you kind of got away with it. So, like, those big heavy hitters were like, okay, right, that's fine. It fits in with the rest of the music I'm listening to. But when I sat down to list of the albums, there was all this, like, bluesy, slide garbage in it. And I wanted that bleeding fucking...
You wanted Porch and fucking...
But the problem with even the heavy Pearl Jam songs is that they'd always break into some big wanky solo. And we were trying to get away from that. Like,
I know what you're saying. Like they were more inspired by classical rock. That's how I feel about the first Smashing Pumpkins album. They're like, both of those bands don't consider themselves to ever have been grunge. Yeah. So I get that,
which
and
is
that's
strange,
why they're like,
because Pearl Jam are like the most flannel of all the kind of grunge, quote unquote, kind of bands. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know who is the most grunge. Who's even grunge out of them all? I suppose
it has to be Nirvana. Like it
is. It has to be.
Just has to be.
It has to be them, because if grunge is supposed to be incorporating punk, I don't think there's as much punk in any of the other bands
as Nirvana. Most certainly not. So, I mean, Soundgarden were more, again, a classic rock. They were closer to bleeding Lynyrd Skynyrd in some places.
They did loads of more blues than they did.
Exactly. But they
Alice in Chains are a metal band.
Alice in Chains are realistically, like an operatic metal band almost. Like
that turned into like probably better than them all, except for maybe on par with Nirvana.
But musically, probably the best out of all of them.
Brilliant.
Like there's no one better than those lads.
They're an alternative rock band.
They're just all of these are alternative rock bands. Like all.
That's what they all are. Grunge is a really weird thing, and I don't know how. Jeremy fits into grunge as a mode, as a feeling,
exactly.
If grunge was
as they're leaning towards it,
grunge was a mood, as the kids say.
Exactly. Yeah, perfect. But there was something about Pearl Jam, like where Kurt Cobain was like banging up heroin and smashing guitars on stage and all this type of shit. Like fucking Eddie Vedder was delivering Meals on Wheels. You know what I mean? It was just, there was always something. They were too wholesome, too nice. And the guitarist fella that wore all the patchwork gear, I wanted to batter him. I wanted to kick his shit out of him.
You have to admit though, like Eddie Vedder's stage diving is the best in the world.
I don't know.
Have you seen him climbing and swinging out of the scaffolding onto the crowd now? Madness, man.
Yeah, I know, but
he's not as like safe as I think.
No, I don't think he's. I think he's just a good person, and that's not what I wanted when I was like 14. You know what I mean?
True.
I'm not saying he was like a little, fucking sap sitting at home, fucking turning teak houses. You know what I mean? There was something about them where it was like they took themselves more seriously than the rest of them, I think.
Eddie Vedder and probably all of Pearl Jam are that very sound but very, very talented mate that you have.
Yeah.
But they're doing their own thing, and they're not as into the heavy stuff as you are, but they're very talented. I
always have loads of these bands that I'm like on the fence about. I always have these like imagined scenarios, you know what I mean? And like I always imagine some mad party, And like, there's loads of dudes from bands and boards and bands, and everybody sitting around talking shit, telling mad road stories. And Eddie Vedder sitting in the corner trying to tell people about the time he went to fucking India on a yoga retreat. It's always the type of thing I get off him. And I don't know if I picked Given the Fly, which is actually an alright song. I bought that single.
That's a good song. That's like mid-90s. 3 albums or so in. Yeah, that's a good song.
Like, I bought that single. That was like probably the last Pearl Jam thing I bought for myself that I kind of liked. Again, I owned 10 and Versus and all that. I probably still have them here. But I never sunk my teeth into them like the rest of them. I
dropped out after a while.
Yeah, I just...
When I got to singer-songwritery...
Yeah, there's an awful lot of that.
When I started to be a precursor to Glenn Hansard, I was...
Oh, God almighty. Now, in saying all this, one of the lads said something to me about 3 years ago that has rang true ever since. And he said, I know I'm getting old because I don't hate Pearl Jam anymore. And when I heard that, I went, do you know what? You're fucking right. Like,
so you matured into a mellowing of Pearl Jam.
I don't hate it anymore because I had this kind of archetype of how I wanted all my music to fit into. And I didn't have to sound the same, but I had to have a similar intention. And I had to I had to get the same response out of it in my brain, and I never really got it out of Pearl Jam. And as I got older, I was like, you know what? It's just lads with guitars playing songs, and like I might not like all of them, but it's all right to not like all of them. That's the
thing; they are so varied, much like Smashing Pumpkins. That I think there's eras of Pearl Jam you can really like, and eras where you can absolutely take or leave. So yeah, I think it's mad one. I think they're a band that I know there's certain aspects of Pearl Jam I don't get. Like they're really acoustic-y stuff. It's not really for me. Although I will say they are well-written songs. They're just not.
Yeah, but like when a band makes their name and cuts their teeth, especially to you as like a rock and roll band, be that alt rock or pop punk or grunge, whatever, metal, whatever.
Yeah,
you always want them to have their anchor laid out in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you listen to the Pearl Jam and you get 2 songs in a row where he's like, little girl.
Exactly. You know what I mean? One of them at the end of the album you might get away with, but the rest of it I want diddly diddly din diddly din diddly diddly. I want that. You know what I mean? Exactly. 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 That's what I want. I want that fucking here and here. Sounds. I didn't get it for
you long. Want to row Pearl Jam? Yeah, I love when he fucking lets that voice rip, man.
Oh yeah. Like, when he lets go,
once and all, like
But,
look at the side of the road. I got a explode. Fucking give me loads of that. It's all bluesy rock. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that was Pearl Jam, and again, I just don't get it. I don't love them. I don't hate them, and I pretty much any one of these bands I could be tilted in either direction. If people want to give us Spotify links or YouTube links in the thread,
please do actually, because we'll actually do a follow up if we can. Then
100%. It makes sense to do a follow up. Anyway, who is your next one?
The next one is someone I won't be swayed on. I'm actually probably touching on do not like this band, actually, to be fair. But at the same time, because I'll get into the aspects of them I really, really appreciate and like, but I won't be changing. And I know enough of their stuff from being a metal DJ for fucking 17 years. And it's Judas Priest. I don't like them. I don't like Judas Priest at all. Here's the weird thing though. There's a few ifs and buts in here. Right. I think that they have one world-class song. Like one song.
And I doubt we have the same song, but I think we have.
And it makes me lose my mind. I think it's absolute perfection. And it's weird. And it's Turbo Lover.
Okay.
Like I absolutely lose my mind to that song. Every bit of it is perfect. It's fucking heavy rock. It's not even really metal. Judas Priest, you know what, man? Metalers will bend and break a lot to different things that, like Motorhead and especially Judas Priest, are doing when it comes to turning into honky tonk shit.
Yeah.
Not even metal anymore. But they wouldn't go and listen to that kind of music if it wasn't someone else doing. So they've also got 2 really fucking good metal songs, and that's Breaking the Law and Painkiller.
Yeah.
They're 2 really, really fucking good songs. But working as a DJ, someone asked me before for this song, and this is the moment I knew I really did not like this band. And it's a song called United.
Okay.
It's so shit. It's so fucking shit. And I remember looking at the guy who asked for it and went, thanks, that's shit. And then I saw loads of people going mad for it. I'm like, ugh, I don't get it. I don't get it. right, here comes the big, massive respect. Rob Halford being in the heavy fucking, making half the heavy metal community go, it's okay to be gay. Or it's okay to hang around with gay people. Because notoriously, metalers are a fucking homo skeptic and homo fearful bunch of people. Probably, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but the older, they really are, man. I think anyway.
Like, I remember, like, early days, all right, there was no room for anything in the metal community. Like,
gays are mutts.
Yeah, and this would be pre-Viking arsehole as well. Would have been when we was dipping into it. The Vikings probably made things worse, to be honest with
you. They did make it worse, but the great thing is people sort of steered clear of the Vikings, left them to themselves. Like, you don't really want to hang around with them. Where are they trying to not the actual Vikings, actual people that are into actual Viking stuff are actually not like that at all.
No, it's the Viking metalers, like. It's the
fake Viking metalers.
Yeah, the Odin's Hammer fucking anti-mass brigade cunts. Like,
I don't know how the fuck any of them are, but to be honest with you, I know people that actually go to like the reenactments and are absolute gents.
Oh yeah.
Actual. Now they listen to Amon Amarth with a touch of mad skepticism.
Of course,
I've talked to a few of them. I was like, "So you're mad into Amon Amarth?" He's like, "Why'd you say that?" Because you're into like. I was like, "Yeah, but like." That Amon Amarth is sort of a pre-packaged version of all that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
And it also sort of pumps out the idea of the whole battle armor, but it's not all like that. Like, there's more of a culture thing going on that is completely ignored. Well, not necessarily by them, but so anyway, like, back to Judas Priest. Rob Halford comes out, I'm gay, and if you don't like that, I'll bat you.
Yeah.
That is fucking, he's brilliant.
I don't really like, as well. Didn't he work in a sex shop in like the early 70s? Like, that must have been mental grim.
Well, that's probably where he got his mad outfits.
I think so,
because they are very, very exposed around the back. The back. Didn't he wear arseless chaps? No, hang on.
No, he had, because he was wearing just chaps. He had the at the start when they started off, when he had like the blonde hair and all, he had like all the leather straps and like the cod piece with the studs and all this kind of shit. And then eventually he just he broke it down to the kind of biker cap and the leathers with the chaps. I don't know whether he ever had assless chaps. That'd be taking the piss now.
No, I'm making the mistake of he used to wear this tight kind of cut off jacket with just like little black wrestling pants. So that's it's not really quite the same as assless. So I've just kind of tied in the whole thing that he would not want me to tie him in with. But look, if they've done nothing else from it, I saw them live and I thought it was garbage. Like,
I saw them live and it was shite as well. Yeah,
probably the same gig I saw.
Yeah, that Megadeth one.
Yeah, where Megadeth sounded like it was played through a can of Coke, a Coke can, like an empty tin can.
Stuck around for about 20 minutes of the main the headliner, and I just left. I couldn't deal with it anymore. It wasn't good. No. For me, Judas Priest have one good song. Well, not one good song. Their best song for me is a song called, I think it's Solar Angels. It's called, and it's fucking fantastic. Jesus Christ, it's so good.
Well, I'll give that a go in lieu of someone like maybe not putting one forward. We'll start the playlist. We're trying to change our minds, or force us in either direction about this. But I have to say, like, it is. You have to admit how impressive it is for him to come out at the time he did.
Oh yeah,
go. Yeah, what about it? Like, fucking hard bastard, man.
He is hard fuck. Yeah.
He is. He has that. He carries that. He can carry that amount. Like, not everyone can do that. It's not really fair to other people can't do that, but he did it, and that's why people kind of doing it with that crowd of just songs about riding and motorbikes.
Yeah,
that's what we like.
Pretty
nothing
much.
Else.
Pretty much.
And the idea of like, it's just mad. I think it's mad. I don't want to dwell too much on that because there's more to Judas Priest than that. But it's one of the only things I really give a shit about. I don't really like their music. Like I said, I love Turbo Lover. But this song right here showcases the absolute mediocrity that I think this band are sort of built around.
Yeah.
And that's Judas Priest. I'm probably not going to change my mind on that, lads, so don't bother. Who's your next one?
Solar Angels is on a Point of Entry from 1981. I'll send you the link. And again, I'm not a fan either. I think that's their one big killer one for me. Next for me is one that is going to hurt an awful lot of people, and it's Björk.
Oh. Well, I think we'll agree somewhat. Before you get into it, I think we'll agree somewhat. Yeah, I think it'll be much like Pearl Jam. There's phases.
Maybe
nothing does it for you with Björk at all.
No, there's a lot. There's a bunch of Björk stuff that I really like, and I just don't find I don't find the rest of it good. Like Army of Me and Human Behavior, that kind of stuff is great.
They're great. Yeah.
Also, Quiet's garbage.
I would never listen to that song.
It's just not good. It's just.
I mean, the video is brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing, but fuck off for that song.
If I heard that, I'd be like, I often quote it. But
yeah. Here's the thing about Björk for me is that every single song sounds like it's the soundtrack to a threesome.
Yeah,
it's just riding music, right? And it's not particularly good riding music because there's nothing.
Yeah, really, it is riding music. Actually, it is.
There's nothing really going on. No, that's a lie. There's loads going on, but it's not particularly interesting. The song I picked. I picked Venus as a boy, and it's just this fucking loop of blips and blops.
I actually do like that song.
It's just, but for me, it's just blips and blops on a loop, and she's moaning.
When she played over here, I didn't get tickets because I don't think I'm enough of a Björk fan to go to an actual gig.
I don't know.
It's class because she is an icon and seeing her would be incredible. But if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I know that given me fucking advancing years, standing up for a gig of that music would physically hurt me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I was moving around a bit,
I remember the gig where my body defeated me. I went to see. What's his fucking name? I went to see Tenacious D.
Oh God!
I know. I got a free ticket. Sorry, I went to see Tenacious D, and they played in the Ambassador, the old cinema, and the floor was at a tilt. Right?
Oh yeah.
They hadn't leveled out the floor because it was an old cinema. So
the Ambassador, yeah, that was a painful place to go.
It was awful. I went to see DJ Shadow there, and it was one of the worst gigs I ever saw in my entire life.
The sound was also shy.
I don't even remember the sound.
No, the Ambassador was terrible.
But I went to see Tenacious D, and I remember about 40 minutes into the gig, my body just went, you can't do this anymore. My back and my arse and my legs and my neck were fucking killing me because A, I was standing at an incline, and B, I was packed, you couldn't move, you know? So you're just kind of stuck there looking at these two fucking idiots. We also, by the way, we haven't gone a week without talking about Jack Black now in about a month for some reason.
Yeah, he keeps cropping back up.
He keeps popping back up, bastard.
I'm Jack Black!
Fuck off. Cunt hasn't aged either. He looks exact same now as he did when he was 20.
I haven't aged!
Yeah,
sorry.
Fuck him.
He's all right. I don't mind him that much, to be honest with you.
He's in Tropic Thunder, which is one of my favourite films of all time. So I let my way with an awful lot of stuff. But Björk, I can't put my finger on exactly why I don't like her. And I think it's because I couldn't, if you played a song for me that I didn't know, I wouldn't be able to put it beside any of the songs that I like by her. Right? So because like I've done a bit of the Pepsi challenge joke, and Björk would be, out of everyone I've listed on this playlist, I'd say I've listened to the least amount of Björk. Right? I'm not gonna lie and say I know every album intimately. I've given all of them the fucking scan through at least once, right? Whenever a new Björk album comes out, whatever, bang it on, walking to work or whatever.
Yeah, nothing ever grabs me when I do that. I don't think you're supposed to look for songs. You know, we need to do this thing, I think, where we look for the big songs, then we build our love for the album around 100%. It by letting the other ones catch up later.
Yeah.
But with Björk, I've sometimes listened to a full new album and go, I didn't get anything from that at all.
Yeah, like that's just always happened to me.
But that's not saying there's nothing there. I'm just saying it might be more hard work than I was expecting. Yeah. But honestly, a lot of it is just like, I am here. This is my little song. I'm like, okay, where's this going now?
Welcome to the bubble. We are all.
And you know what it is? Yeah, she's releasing mad songs where it's like, the whole album is only my voice. No instruments. I'm like, no, thanks. I'm all
thanks.
Good.
No, nope. I wasn't into that when Patton done it. I'm not going to be into it when you do it. So
Patton's one was great though.
That's not for me.
Van Thomas.
Yeah,
with all the surgical instruments.
I could have picked him.
That has a purpose of being that poor. Fuck off. No, you can't pick any Mike Patton stuff. You can't put Mike Patton as a whole. You pick Mike Patton as a whole on this, then no. Stop.
No, I like Fate No More and I like Tomahawk. We've had this conversation before. I just don't like that Phantom Ass stuff, and I don't like Mr. Bungle. Even Mr. Bungle coming back as a fucking hardcore punk band. Metal. Yeah, it just.
Well, that's an old remake of an old album.
Yeah, I know. That
Do you know what? That's a fucking savage thrash metal, mad hybrid album. You'd love that. Ken'd love that.
I probably would, but I don't think I'm going to. Even if I know that I would, I just say I don't. Just
wow. Well, how is this podcast going?
Just to spite everyone and myself. I just won't let myself do it.
What about if someone comes back to you with, like a Queens of the Stone Age song or an album? You go,
fair play. You know, and I'll say that's a great song.
You just said that you wanted.
No, because I despise Mike Patton fanboyism.
Right, fair enough.
More than anything else. Because I think he's an amazing singer, and I like a bunch of his bands, and I like a lot of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
But there's something I don't know. If he killed a lot of children tomorrow, people would be like, "Man, them fucking kids needed to die." Like
the sound it made was actually a great.
He
killed
album.
them
so artistically. Like I can't his range. He's got like a 13 octave range. Did you know that? Yeah, but he killed a lot of fucking babies. Yeah, but like, did you see how he done it? The knife he had was unreal. And that I just have a thing about Mike Patton, and it's not because of any current gang or fucking.
The reason he's that revered is because he is so talented.
Yeah, probably.
But you hate that reverence.
Yeah, I don't like that with anyone, really.
Well, do you know what? Just to bring it back to Björk, I love the trip-hop era going into the electronic grunge era. Yeah. And after that, I took too much of a break that I didn't see the evolution into the pagan poetry era.
Yeah, no.
And the hyper ballad, I wasn't really in tune enough. And the same thing happened to me with Tori Amos. I didn't keep up.
Same.
You have to keep up with these artists to see where I did it with. You see, I kept up with Radiohead. That's why there was no harsh fucking wall to hit with Radiohead where I went, where is this coming from? No, they were doing that a little bit of that in the last time. Yeah. So I dropped out Björk, and I don't know if there's a way really back in for me.
Probably not. Yeah, again, don't hate her. If someone put her on a threesome I was at, I'd be perfectly happy. I might even be into it, but you'd never be able to keep up with the rhythm or anything like that because it keeps changing all the time. So no, it wouldn't happen. Anyway, that was Björk. Who was your next one?
My next one is someone who's loved almost in the same way, but much more modern kind of sort of artist. Yeah, Lana Del Rey. She has an absolutely beautiful voice. She's obviously gorgeous. Aesthetically, is the whole thing is great. The whole look. She's not afraid to be like, while she's massively popular, throw a few fucks and shits into the mix. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. And if I'm being honest, she does things her own way. That's great. I've heard maybe 7 or 8 songs, but I just keep hearing this sheer misery. And it sounds like some sort of depressed in the 50s vibe. And I can't, that's not for me. Do you know what? I don't know why I love Chelsea Wolfe and Madonna, but don't love like the mixture of the both, which is don't know why it's not landing. She always looks like she's trying to appear like she's on Xanax with the quaint house and the picket fence on fire in the background, but she's drinking fucking, I don't know, blood from a cup with a Doberman on it, and it's like, oh, it's juxtaposing all this, you know. It's like I don't know, maybe she didn't even have a 50s housewife. Well, I don't know why that's coming into my head. Does she have that thing? And she's singing all dreamy songs. Yeah. While there's absolute chaos happening in the background. And I don't know, it feels like this is for people who've graduated from Zooey Deschanel. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. But I will say
feel that connection already. Yeah.
So what I will say though, this is the one where I listened to a few songs by all these bands just to get something. Judas Priest was fucking the hardest, absolute garbage. But after knuckling down with some of Lana Del Rey songs, I've realised it is complete misery, but it's also kind of pleasant. More pleasant than I thought it was.
Maybe in like a country music kind of way where I'm meant to be miserable listening to it.
Yeah, like the gas thing is, I grew up listening to like the Smiths, and my mom would be like, God, that's miserable music. I'm like, no, it's actually not. Because it's actually, the Smiths isn't really. Now, some of the Cure can be, but I think it's necessary misery. And it's more sadness than misery. I think there's a big difference between misery and sadness.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was any way music could. I always fought with people about this. They're like, that music makes me depressed. I'm like, that's bullshit. Music can't make you depressed. Sad music can't make you feel sad.
True.
Really, that it can't bring you down to that level. It can only help people who are already sad to feel.
It helps people who are in that mindset get there. But if you're not getting there,
then I heard Lana Del Rey, and I was like, I was in a good mood when I heard it. I was like, ooh, that's miserable.
Yeah.
That's a miserable voice and a miserable face.
I don't know loads of her stuff. I always get her and Regina Spektor mixed up.
Yeah, no, they're totally different altogether.
Yeah.
But, do you know what? I'm desperately trying to find stuff. Everyone I know loves Lana Del Rey. Every girl I know is in particular, because that's how it fucking works. I don't know. I'm not trying to explain that. Loads of my guy mates love her as well. Loads of them just go, who?
Yeah.
Do you know?
The what?
So, who? Lana. No.
I like Tori Amos. I like her.
Yeah. How was she up to nowadays?
Yeah, exactly. That's a ma, innit? A singing ma.
Yeah. But after knuckling down, I got it a bit more. So I have changed my tune about Lana Del Rey a little bit. Also, the remix of Summertime Sadness is a banger. I used to have to play that when I did the clubs all the time. It is really, really good. So I'll move past. I'll almost move to Pleasant Misery to, I don't know, slightly better Pleasant Misery. That's best. That's the best I can do for folks.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do. She's definitely fucking brilliant at something, and I haven't really figured out if that something is for me yet. So that's really the bottom line that I can give with Lana Del Rey. She's brilliant at something. The package looks incredible.
Yeah, but you don't know what's for you.
Looks challenging to the pop market.
Yeah.
More so than Grimes or anything would be. Yeah. Actually, she's really challenging where even album titles and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's for me. I'll keep trying. Guys, that's all I can say. Good. I'll keep trying with Lana Del Rey. Who's your next one?
My next one is Korn.
Well, how do you not give a Korn?
Just like...
Rung dong digga dong dong digga. What did that get about Korn?
Yeah, now I picked Got the Life, which is probably my favourite Korn song.
That's a great song.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me is the hi-hats, and I fucking hate hi-hats in general. And the hi-hats are the loudest thing in the song because it's what kind of drives the song along. And I fucking hate it. But Korn, even when Korn came out and then you had whatever Limp Bizkit and all the rest of the fucking garbage that was actually kind of good for a while, was pouring out. Korn never clicked with me. And it was almost like they were trying too hard, right? For the genre that tried incredibly hard, new metal. Like Korn always seemed to be almost, they weren't as dramatic with it as someone like Marilyn Manson, who like fully embraced it and like said, "This is my gimmick." Korn always, it was like some sort of like Borstal home giving instruments.
Do you know what I think they sound like?
What?
I think they sound like, that's a good one as well, actually, that you just said there. But you know what they remind me of? They remind me that they could easily be a groovy industrial Alanis Morissette.
Probably, yeah.
You can imagine, like, I want you to know. It's fucking, that's the Korn sound like.
Yeah.
An industrial Alanis Morissette. And they're not even that industrial really at all. They're more fucking groove metal. But later on, they had so many electronic elements that almost had
gone by then. I was out by like maybe the third or fourth album, but even then I had a similar thing to them as I had to like Pearl Jam. This is whatever, like say the second massive wave of music in my life. If the first one is that kind of grunge era, the second one is the kind of late 90s, early 2000s new metal and that type of malarkey. That was most certainly an eye-opening experience for me. And
I can't stop thinking about fucking another version of my Mr. Duplicity. Can't get that. Let us Korn do. Oh my God, it's going to haunt me all night.
They just came across as, like I said, like a Borstal home instruments, like played by a load of lads who are telling people that they're self-harming, but they're not.
Well, he had an awful bleeding life.
I know he had an awful life, but like they wrung that rag dry, like, you know what I mean?
Wrung that rag dry.
Yeah, and then there's all the stories about, you know, fucking whoever it was, Rick Ross or whatever the fuck it was, screaming at him in the studio about getting fingered by his dad or whatever, and he's crying. He's like, "Sing now, you fucking prick!" And he had to sing.
Oh, Ross Robinson, yeah,
Ross Robinson,
giving him the fucking what do you call it? I wouldn't say Tim Burton, that director. There's loads of directors that do that to people, but he did it musically, get that juice out of him.
Yeah, and people are like, I can really hear it. No, I can't. You can just hear the cunt moaning and screaming, like every
David O. Russell. That's who I was thinking. He's the David O. Russell of fucking producers. get them feeling sad about themselves and thinking they're shy.
Yeah, I can't, because they all look like they lived in bins. Or they look like they just walked off the set of that fucking Battlefield Earth, movie.
It was they all looked like they were from. Was it did Clawfinger do that first, or was it Korn? I think Korn had that first.
Korn had that
dreadlocks,
first.
The beards, and the Adidas tracksuits. It's a mad.
That was definitely Korn. Yeah, almost.
It's an impressive fucking.
It's what a combo.
It's a real Bakersfield thing from LA. It really is.
You have to think that maybe Adidas would have been not the biggest brand in the world. Nike would have been the biggest brand in the world by then. So like Adidas would have been able to get picked up cheap. So they're probably buying stuff in like in thrift stores for next to nothing and kind of made a uniform out of it. It's the same as as Run DMC did. Like Adidas would have been a massive brand. But like by the 90s, Nike took over completely. Still to this day, like Nike's the biggest kind of sportswear brand in the world. Like,
and apart from the footwear, they're not the best. They're Nike for footwear, Adidas for everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Now I'm more of an Adidas footwear fan than Nike footwear fan, but not by any great sweeps. I'm more of a Puma guy these days, actually. But I love a lot of the Puma, and Puma I think is owned by Adidas anyway. But I think Nike,
they're brothers or something. They were
brothers, but I think they ended up getting bought together in the first place. I think Nike might even own Adidas now.
Who knows?
I think they might. But anyway, went off in a fucking mad one there.
Because I love that you gave what they made was a name and I make it enough by you to be open wide. And you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to absolutely record a You Ought to Know in Korn style.
You should. So I never got Korn. They felt the people I knew back in the day when Korn were big, that were mad into Korn, were all fucking mutants. And musically, there was loads of it that I was mad into. I remember when Napster was a thing, I downloaded this song and listened to it fucking over and over and over again. And there was maybe an album's worth of songs that I was like, holy shit, like these are really, really good. But once again,
did you ever see a couple that one of the couple grew up way faster and matured and just left the other one completely behind?
Yes,
that's Korn and Deftones.
Yeah, very much so.
As a couple, like Deftones were like, ooh. Yeah. Like people are lumping us in together. Oh yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna be like up there hanging out with the Cure now soon, and you're like trying dubstep and being a DJ and all, and it's gonna be
2 years too late. yeah. Like and
2 years too late for dubstep. 2 years too late for dubstep feels like 10 years too late for dubstep.
100%. Like now, Korn had their window as well. Korn were like shit hot band, very important band for 3 to 5 years, but they kept up that shtick for a while afterwards, and then whatever, like members start becoming fucking Christians and starting was it Feel These Dreams and oh my god almighty. Remember that? Like there was so many little, it was just
I remember
brutal.
him on Cribs, he's like, hey, I'm doing Feel These Dreams, and everyone was like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm Feel These, so because I'm going to do Feel These Dreams. He kept saying Feel These Dreams, he kept saying it like that as well, and he came in, they showed like he had a barber shop in his gaff.
That's right.
Remember that?
And he had long hair.
On the back of on the back of the chairs.
Bothered the fuck out of me.
And here I have stitched in Feel These Dreams. I'm like, this Feel These Dreams thing's not going to take off. You keep pushing it down
exactly.
this far.
There's no magic to it at all, mate. You just can't keep saying it. You can't just keep saying it. Like,
but that's the problem when you're that big. You think that your side projects are the best.
Are going to sell millions. Yeah, fuck that shit. But Korn, again, a couple of good songs, but I never sunk my teeth into it. If I saw someone with a Korn tattoo, I would follow them around slagging them. That's how I feel about
you'd have to though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
For their sake. That
little pin cushion thing or even the words Korn. Like I would, honest to God.
I really like Korn. I've seen Korn like 5 times live. I love them.
I would run after that person slagging them.
But I will say this, they're foolish fun the same way Limp Bizkit are. They're not much more serious than people.
I know Limp Bizkit are garbage as well, but they're amazing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I feel the same way about Korn.
Yeah, I don't. I think when I hear like the guitar tones and stuff and Limp Bizkit and the way some of those songs are put together, I go like, oh my god, like that's incredible.
The stuff I feel in Korn have the similar kind of thing. The backing vocals, his backing vocals are incredible.
There's some great backing vocals. Actually, even on this song, just like a lot of that.
He's really good at nailing mad stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I never got it. I don't hate it. And once again, as I said, with every single other fucking act on this list, and I'll say it on my last one next as well, if someone puts it on, I'm not going to complain. But am I going to put it on? No.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the way I look at it. Like, if you were like, if me and you were hanging out in the piss, and you were like, fucking, listen, can we throw this Korn album on? I really like it. I'd be like, fuck yeah, man, play one.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. It's definitely not going to aggravate you.
No, not in the slightest.
I get that with Korn. If I was hanging out with someone who wanted to put on the new Korn album, I'd say I'd prefer if he didn't.
Yeah. Can you put on
because I love. Can you put on the first 4? Maybe thereabouts. Yeah.
Why? Wah. Can we get a bit of that going? Yeah.
Wow. That's the other one.
That's the other one. Yeah. Anyway, that is Korn. Who was your last one?
My last one's Dream Theater, and I don't care about not being able to get Dream Theater. I don't think they want me to get them.
I don't.
You know Dream Theater, right?
Yeah, but I don't know anything about them. I know that they're like proggy.
They've got some of the best musicians in the world in their band. They have the best instruments of all the best gear. Their singer has a great fucking range. Sometimes a bit high for me, but that's a great range still nonetheless. They have an ability to play any style, any kind of time signature at all. They're going since 1985. They've 14 albums. So what are they missing there? A fucking song.
A song, yeah.
Write a fucking song, will you?
Yeah.
Like a song that I can go, that's a deadly song.
Yeah.
No. They have to do this bullshit all the time. They're progressive metal, which means they sometimes forget about writing a song. So I've tried to do Dream Theater, and all I get at best are incredible but short sections of songs that if they expanded upon those sections and not wanked into them, all of them standing over wanking into that bit, I'd probably like it. Because there's certain bits where you're like, oh, that riff is fucking deadly, and they move away from it and never come back to it. You're like, what are you doing? You just hit a little bit of gold there. They constantly keep changing. It's almost like fucking listening to a band who all have ADHD, and I have a bit of ADHD. I think we all do, but I definitely do. And it annoys me how much they move off. They're like fucking prog dubstep.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just like stick on that bit for more than just 2 seconds. But even dubstep did sort of come back to riffs and they build on them. This is just moving away, and I'm sure they've got. Like you listen to them, and they're a band's band, but they're a muso metalers band, and there's nothing worse, man. There's nothing worse than that.
No,
and I feel like they're trying to be technically better than everyone else. So even if they did happen to write like Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, for instance, something like that,
they'd make a bollocks of it.
They'd make an absolute hound of it. They wouldn't be able to go, Jesus, lads, did we just strike absolute gold?
Yeah, no, they'd scrap it. They'd scrap it.
But even if they, like, what I don't get is, right, I like I like Strapping Young Lad. I like a bit of Opeth when they're not wanking themselves to death as well.
I'm the same with like Show getting bits of Rush and all that. There's bits of prog
bits of it and bits of it.
Yeah.
Like where I can pick out songs.
Yeah.
I pick out songs.
It's progressive because they smash 20 songs into one. That's cool.
But I think they're at a point where they're just trying to impress other bands and be better, like skill wise. I don't know, because I just don't get it. Here's a fucking mad one, right? They've sold over 12 million records worldwide. Just to put that in context, Anthrax have sold 2.5.
Mental. And you'd think you'd be tripping over Anthrax fans before you meet one Dream Theater fan.
But here's the thing, would you? I don't know. It's like they all play Dungeons and Dragons or something. I don't know who they are, these people.
It's not music for threesomes anyway.
Definitely not music for threesomes. Definitely not. That'd be a greasy threesome. That wouldn't it?
A greasy threesome.
Whereas Bjork's one would have all digital lights around the bed.
Of course it would, And if you like this box. Yeah.
Do you like my box? It is a tiny, small box. Shouldn't even talk about that. That's one accent I can't do. I can't do the Icelandic. You've never listened to her in an interview. She just sounds like she's from London a little bit, but something else.
Where's she living? She's probably living in England for years, is she?
I think she might have been, yeah. Although I don't think the English lifestyle suited her. She doesn't like the whole media thing, but I don't think there's people knocking at her door anymore like they used to be.
No, past that.
I don't know what else to say about Dream Theater. Lads, if someone wants to give me some, I will say this, right? I'm going to check on their thing. They have a song where more than 5 seconds of it is really good.
Okay.
And that's the first song. Like. That's the first song that they have on Spotify. And I can't really remember. I'm going to check it now. No, I'm not messing it up. It's fucking... It's something beginning with Pull Me Under, right? That's their biggest song. That has 32 million fucking listens on thing.
Wow.
Pull Me Under is not a bad song because they keep kind of going back to, and I'm sure that's their like fucking twist and shout or something, you know what I mean? That's their absolute American Idiot You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So my Dream Theater's fan goes, oh, well, obviously, like, Put Me Under, it's their pop song. I'm like, but that's even not good enough for me to be a pop song.
Yeah.
So give me all their pop songs. Because, Jesus, here's the thing, right? Even if they could just, they're probably geniuses. They can figure out the algorithm to write the best album ever written tomorrow. They probably wouldn't be arsed.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
When I say the best album ever, I mean something that tied the entire world together, like fucking Wild Stallions, right?
Yeah.
They could write the Wild Stallions album tomorrow and go, nah, it's boring. I'm like, it's fucking not. Yeah. Every few minutes they go, like, hang on. So the singer stopped singing for like a few seconds, and you thought, there's a prime opportunity to go, and the drums go, and the keyboards go, garbage. Hot shite, the fucking Dream Theater. 12 million fucking records, and they've released 14 albums, so that's nearly 1 million per album.
Yeah, no.
So they must be doing something right.
Not for you.
Not for me, man. Who's your last one?
My last one is, out of all of them, I'd say is the one I'm going to probably catch the most flack over.
Really?
And yeah, I think so. I think it's the one that you got people my age are going to give out to me about Queens of Stone Age and stuff like that. Mott's will give out to me about Bjork. Nobody saying about Korn or anything like that, really.
No, because they don't want to. No one wants to be bothered defending.
Exactly, Korn. Yeah. This is the one where people my age and older will call me out now. And this is the one probably going to get the most amount of listen to this song.
Oh, listen to this one.
Yeah. And it's Nick Cave.
Ah, gar.
It's Nick Cave.
How do you not get Nick Cave?
I just don't. How do you get Nick Cave?
I'll tell you how. He's got loads of deadly songs.
He does. But he's
even got loads of deadly albums.
20,000 songs that are just nothing. Like,
do you reckon?
I can't listen to this song. Oh, children.
That's a great song.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Into My Arms. The Weeping song.
Here's the thing, right? Nick Cave writes songs about fucking murdering people, right? Every song is about getting murdered or murdering people. And Cave,
yet you listen to the Misfits.
And no, because that's like B-movie bullshit. Nick Cave is talking about actually killing people and fucking throwing them in the river and all. And Nick Cave looks like he twists his ankle getting out of bed, right? He's he's this little fucking cunt with a big giant head. He
has a massive head.
Yeah, right? He is 100% like, if Nick Cave didn't become a musician, he would have been a school shooter, right? That's what he would have said.
I would have said school teacher.
No, school shooter. There's hatred in him, right? There's hatred in him.
Children, open up your books don't open the Aborigine section. We don't go through that in our history books now.
Exactly. Like, he might. He definitely would have been a skill shooter, right? 100%. He might have went to like seminary school or something like that and then became a skill shooter. Something fucking weird. There's obviously something wrong with him. He came out wrong. The forceps grabbed the wrong part of him or something. And something happened along the way there. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, I just opening up here, right? Fucking Where the Wild Roses Grow. We've talked about that. One of the greatest songs ever. Amazing. Red Right Hand is murderously good. It's a bit overplayed now. That's
insane. Yeah.
But
Tupelo. Oh.
Find me something else like Red Right Hand. I can't hear it. I can't find it. I reckon
there might be stuff
like that. I can't find it.
I can't think off the top of my head right now, but I will. I'm not a massive Nick Cave fan, but I like him a lot. I've never delved deeper than like Murder Ballads and The Boatman's Call.
I think I own two Nick Cave Bad Seeds albums.
Record or CD?
Oh no, I might have one on record. Actually, I don't know which one. I'm pretty sure. I have a lot of them on CD. I think I probably have all of them on CD. And I have even his mate Warren Ellis. I have some of that stuff, and like I have bits and bobs of it. But oh man, Nick Cave to me is be like a double album best of, and I'd be perfectly fine because
that's still pretty good though for someone
really.
No,
not really. Not for someone with like a discography that big and someone who was like that lauded. You know, where like fucking 20,000 people show up to a field to watch him mowing. You know, like there's something similar that happens with Nick Cave for me for what happens with fucking Mike Patton. where and it happens to people of an older generation, people generally in their 40s or 50s. If Nick Cave put out an album of farts called Murder Farts, people would be like trying to buy, like, they have the limited edition gold pressing of it. You know what I mean?
He doesn't put out bad music.
It's not bad at all. It's just there's so much of it, and not all of it is great. Loads of it is so miserable that, like, it's fucking pointless. He's that old now. He should be like trying to get the world into a more positive place. He's gone through, it was like adolescent fucking murdering children mode, and now he should be like fucking stop murdering children. That's what he should be at now. He should have turned the wheel completely and just give up on that murder shy, because every song's about killing someone.
Yeah, not every song.
99.9% songs.
Yeah.
Are
Did you know
death in some way?
He wrote the script for Gladiator 2.
That's right, yeah, where he goes to Elysium or whatever, and has to fight his way up. And he was commissioned to write it by Russell Crowe.
Yeah, so that Russell Crowe wouldn't have to do it.
Yep, fucking crazy.
Because it's too mental.
Yeah, it's batshit, man.
Like, you're talking about one of the biggest movies of all time, but fucking spoiler alert, he dies in the end of it. So you can't really have... You can do what Spartacus did and do a prequel, which actually was incredible. While your man was in hospital.
Yeah, that was a great show. I love that.
That was fantastic, and they did it when I knew he was sick and he couldn't do season 2. They said we're doing a prequel. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, but it was excellent. Yeah,
probably like might even be better.
I think it is better because your man was fine, but I think the other ones were better. They had better characters in the first one as well. In the prequel, but his Nick Cave's movie stuff is great. Like with that 8/10 of Hume and all, like some of those are fantastic. Like he's a decent writer and decent director. But musically, he is, for me, he's probably a 5.5 out of 10. Like I lean towards liking him more than disliking him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, I have to say it again. I don't hate him. I just don't get it. Like.
Well, if you want another Red Right Hand, try Tupelo. Maybe.
Okay. Tupelo.
I'm sure other people will have. Yeah, people. You're right. Though people are gonna. At least we'll get some fucking comments out of them.
Yeah, exactly. This is the one I think where, in particular, where people are going to be like, "No, you have it all wrong. This song is about when his ma killed his dad." And whatever. It's not about him murdering people.
Is it about murder? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a fucking podcast to enrage us all.
Yes.
There you go.
Very much.
Don't say we never give you I want you to know
that I am killing people with my big red hand. Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Do plus a toy. I hate to book you in the middle of the night.
Anyway. It's funny. Anyway, folks, that was I Just Don't Get a Volume 2. We could do this forever, realistically.
Oh, yeah.
So as we said...
we don't get as old cunts.
Big time. So yeah, if you have songs by these acts that you think we should listen to, post them up. Give us the Spotify links, the YouTube links, whatever. Let us know. Do something. And
don't you do something?
Do something. Why don't you do something? And we will be back next Monday with a fresh podcast. And we're back in a week and a bit for a live show, whatever the fuck is going on.
Will I have a song? I'll have a song out by then. He's better listen to it.
Helmet will have his song out.
Better listen to my song by then.
I'll
fight you. It's on the page. You're well known.
Started with a kiss song.
Fucking kill you if you keep saying that.
That's coming out. It'll be out by the time this podcast comes out. And I don't know where I got that from. I 100% thought that was the lyrics. I was singing them now. You better change it. You're going to send me the raw tracks and I'm going to remix it. And the only thing I'm going to change is that fourth lyric. And it'll be that.
Right.
Anyway, we'll have a new podcast out for you Monday coming. As always, you can do your bit to support us by going to patreon.com/Lost Art Podcast. That's
actually do.
That's our subscription service. It's €5 a month to get access to loads of exclusive videos and podcasts and all sorts of malarkey. And if you don't want to do that, you don't want to do a subscription, that's fine. You can go to ko-fi.com/Lost Art Podcast and tip us. It's a €3 incremental tip. The minimum you give us is 3, and the top end of it is up to your imagination. Pay us for our work. This is our job. now because we don't have work. It's nonsense. So we're putting way more effort into this than we probably should be for the money we're getting. So if people who like it, tip us and join the Patreon and share it out. If you have no money, that's fine. If you're like us, you have no job, share it out on your social media platforms.
They're doing it for free.
Yeah, saps. I'll just listen to your man who has millions of fucking followers instead.
Yeah,
that's great. That's super. Yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll be back again next week with a fresh one, and we'll talk to you then.
See ya.